Shabbos.
No, Shabbos. I mean, I think the shortcut, simple shortcut is you're starting off with a shtickle hakdama. The end of Mishpatim has the end of Kabbalah Torah. Talk about later, but that's the end of Kabbalah Torah. So this part of Mishpatim took place in the point that after he said Nasa Nishma until no, my mistake. After they said Nasa, until they said Nasa Nishma takes place the last part of Mishpatim. So that means the part before, even though it's up Zavke, and we do normally assume that if there's a parsha, it's in order. Now, if we have a rayas that's not in order, so then we say it's not in order. But so there's no reason to assume it's not in order. Why would you start giving us mitzvahs and then go back to Kabbalah Torah? So obviously this has to do with Kabbalah Torah. So I think it is what the Rebbeinu told him to be a Mamlechas Kahan V'Goy Kodesh in Parshas Yisrael was that everybody says it. So Rashi says you shouldn't say more or less. Only those words. Should be a Mamlechas Kahan V'Goy Kodesh. Who wouldn't want to be that? Everybody jumped for that, right? What is my commitment to that? That's the question. So these are the halachas, the first to test the person's commitment to Torah or to Avodah. What should be the most important mitzvah in the world? I have no idea. I guess B'tachon, but we have to show that. But I'm saying, normally it should be something, a real tough mitzvah, something. Let's see how you guys take it. And the first mitzvah is Even Ivri. Even Ivri is the punishment for stealing. It's a funny kind of punishment. What do you mean it's a funny kind of punishment? The United States says, you get 10 years for grand larceny, right? Or 10 to 25 years. It's without a cheshbon. Not important to say, they're Messiah 10 years you need, 25 years you need. That's what they did. They want you to stop stealing. So to stop stealing, they tell you, if you do this aveira, you're going to get this stealing. And that is kol ha-Torah tula. Except for, we said, that the Rebbeinu done us with how we act. That's when it's done us. That's the only true justice in the world, is what you're willing to do, we do to you. Anything else, anything else is just a deterrence. We don't want you to kill, so we'll kill you. We'll tell you when we'll kill you if you kill. Don't give me the Chal Shabbos, we'll tell you when we'll kill you for Chal Shabbos. But it has nothing to do connected to Yonish, the thing there. I mean, I'm sure the Rebbeinu has cheshbonus why he made this is a skill, and this is a schreif, and this is this. But I'm not talking about that, but I mean, but the yikir is that's the point is to stop you from doing the aveira. By what you do, the Benjamin does, that's a teaching you how to act in life. And yet we learn that always, it's not important by the Christians, right? When they want to take a mitzvah, that's a big mitzvah, right? So they say, turn the other cheek, whatever they say there, love your neighbor as yourself. But Hillel didn't say that. He said, that's the ikazach. Don't do someone else what you don't want done to you. Once you do that, you'll have everything else you can have. And obviously then comes the Hava of Yahweh, all the other things. So it comes the first mitzvah is Geneva. So Tzitcha should have been the first mitzvah. I mean, I don't know what it should have been. But he's telling you no. You bekabel on yourself a teva. That means the Rabbeinu Shalom is telling you how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to live. What is the most important part of that? If you don't trust the Rabbeinu Shalom, then it's worthless. It has nothing to do with it. And we'll find that in Parshas in the it's called Mor B'Hashem. It's called again in Parshas Pinchas Mor B'Hashem. In other words, the Easter of Geneva is Mor B'Hashem. There's no other Avecha that you're Mor B'Hashem. I kill because I'm angry, or I'm afraid, or whatever it is. There's a reason why I kill. I steal because I want that and I think God can't give it to me, or I can take what God doesn't want to give me. Most kfiras. And those are ikir kfiras. And that's more about Shem. You're belittling God's keches that he can't do it. And that's not true. Obviously he can do it. He may not want to give it to you, but it's a different story. But the Maisa that he can give it to you, he can. So if he doesn't want you to have it, you're stealing it is not going to make a difference one way or the other. You'll lose it before you get there. They'll take it or they'll catch you with what's still intact. You never get a chance to spend it, whatever reason it is. So you have to believe that that's what the Rebbeinu does. And that's the first thing, Tzochem. We trust the Rebbeinu. Now you'll say, why should I trust the Rebbeinu? It's a good question. I was telling you, have the Tzochem. Have the Tzochem what? Tzochem, I'm going to have $1 billion tomorrow. I mean, I love and so Solange's story is like that, so Shiva didn't believe it. Not Negea. The story with the gold watch, I'm sure you all heard. So Solange's story, if you have B'toch, you got to go watch it, you got to go watch it. Well, Shiva says, check in the Maisa. Okay. Why? Because you have to deserve the gold watch to get the gold watch. You can get a gold watch, because if you want a B'toch as a gold watch, okay, maybe that's true. But just because I want a gold watch doesn't mean I'm going to get a gold watch. That's another shit. There's no reason why God would give it to you, whatever it is. So why should I have the B'toch? I want to have the B'toch, I have a lot of money, and I need Shbanos, because the Bereshim guaranteed that. He guaranteed us Parnasa, he guaranteed us health and safety. In other words, Shem Yitzayim Hashem. Now, it doesn't mean all cases, obviously, the Bereshim has his cheshbenis, but in normal cases, I don't have to worry in this thing over there. We all cross the street, we all got there, and Baruch Hashem, most of us don't get hit by a car, but there are others that get hit by a car, right? So how are you allowed to cross the street? It's a smokum sakona. How are you allowed to get in a car? It's a smokum sakona. Most people in the United States probably get killed from cars. They're probably most deaths are car deaths. So how are you allowed to go driving? Shem b'Shem Hashem. It's not Parshas. So those things that I'm allowed to have B'tochen, I have B'tochen. The Rebbeinu should give me more than that there's no guarantees. Okay. So that's the reason that the what do you call it? That the Torah starts with Evelivri. Now, Evelivri has a big chesaron in him. We have a love. We see a klesha. You're not allowed to live with a shiksa, with a shifra. Even a shifra kananis. Unless you're never living. Right? So that means you lost Kedushas Yisrael. Before you were Osir, and now it's mutter. So therefore, don't think it's a maila, I can have more women. That's a shegets. That's what it says in here. And for that, you learn. And that, we don't have, like you'll say, to be an evidivri, the gemeva has to be this. In other words, they sell me for $1 million and I only sold $5, they don't sell me for inevitably. Or if I sold $1 million and I'm only worth $5, also they'll sell me for inevitably. So what's the point they're trying to tell me? The trouble with the American system, or any system basically probably, is you put you in jail. Who do you meet in jail? Noch kein Love. What? So what are you guys talking about? What they should have done, how they're going to do the next line, how we make sure we don't get caught, and everything else is. So you haven't helped anybody by putting you in jail. It's just a punishment. By us, the idea is to rehabilitate the person. So you put them into a person to show this is an Elohim. He bought you, hasn't got too much use for you. That's the emes. Let's be unless I'm ready to make him the president of my company, I have no use for him. He can't shine my shoes. He can't do anything else. If I have one steak, he's going to get it, not me. So what do we need an Evidivri for? Who's going to buy an Evidivri? So obviously there'll be somebody that's interested in teaching somebody how to be an Elohim. And therefore, so his keches is rehabilitation. I'm just teaching you. You're the meaning in the house of a Yid, and we hope that it will rub off on you a little bit. Okay. I assume, you want to go why Bigapi Yove, Bigapi Yetze, I mean, not that, why only in Baalisha was mutter given the shift to Kananis. Because you got to know what a Yiddish lady is. If you only know a shiksa, that's you're blind by a shiksa. That's the problem. So they have to learn what it is. Okay. And then you have a time where the person must go out on his own. In other words, after 6 years, technically there's no mechira more than 6 years. That's to be an evidivri. Ober, I want to become, I have to. I like servitude. I don't mind servitude. Nothing there. So there's one time, after 50 years, you got to go out on your own. Doesn't make a difference. You can say, I don't want to go out on my own, you still got to go out on your own. They kick you out. And that's the thing. And the shaila is, we all know that's only, obviously, can be 2 years to Yevel, can be 50 years to Yevel. But the idea is life, that a person has to go and do his chiyuvim. No, you can't hide anymore. He's got to go out and do it. And that's a Torah Munson. Okay, we're going to skip for a minute. We'll see later. Makish for Neshmos Yumot, Vashalot Soldo, Elohim in Yoda, Visamsa Amok, Vasayon. That's one parsha. 2 psukim, 1 parsha. One is murder, and one is what we call Bishoigig. Shoigig, it's called Shoigig, it's not kolonus. It's not an accident, Rabbi say. We are chayiv for every mice that happens from us. You lay too close to the window, and or to the thing, and you kick you off in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. That's your field, you're chayiv for it. If someone puts it there when I'm sleeping, I'm not chayiv for it. Then it's an honest. But if I lay down next to something and I broke it, I'm chayiv for it. So you got to understand, the goy is chayiv for hayig b'shogig. Why is he chayiv? He didn't mean to kill anybody, right? But that's what he can is chayiv mises. So we have to know that there's Sרגא is a chayiv mises. So why are you calling it Sרגא for? Why don't you just kill him? So I would think that it's very hard to give haskoya for it. What are you going to give him haskoya for? And there's nothing he's doing, willing at the moment. He's running down the stairs fast. Maroon, right? He's running down the stairs fast, he's going to kill a bunch of people, right? So we would tell him, don't run, so because we're going to kill you if you run so fast. Can't do that. That's not real hasoya. Has to be, if you're doing this ma'aseh, you're going to kill. Oh, but he has to realize that he's coming up to position to kill. That's the problem. And that's why it's very rigorous. There's really no excuse for being inattentive. And that's why there was rotzchim more in Eva Yalden than there was in Eretz Yisrael. Well, you need the same 3 cities, 22.5 shvatim, and 3 cities for 9.5 shvatim. Why? Because we have rotzchim over here. What do you mean rotzchim? No, we don't have rotzchim. We have more careful people here. That's all. No, we're not talking about rotzchim. No one's a rotzeach. But you're a rotzeach. If you don't think, you're called a rotzeach. So I want to kind of like this. What's the darsha? So Rashi brings down, it'll come a time when the guy that's chayiv mitzvah will be in a pundak together with a guy that's chayiv golos. So the guy that's chayiv golos will fall on top of the person that's chayiv mitzvah and kill him, and he goes to golos. So he's got both problems resolved in one shot. That's what happened the first time. He was careless the first time. It's the second time. It's chayiv golos already. That means he killed somebody already. Why it happened the first time? So I think this is the Mizrach HaShemesh in Makis, that whole sugya. That the pshat is that a person has to recognize he's dangerous, that he can kill somebody. The Torah is most people don't recognize anything. I'll give you a mashal. It happened here. Baruch Hashem, nobody got hurt. We had an old air conditioner, a heavy one. It was in my room. And they asked the guy to take it out or whatever it is, he didn't take it out. So a couple of bachim decided they're going to take it out, right? And they took it out and they dropped it. Dropped 2 floors, 3 floors, whatever, 2 floors, whatever it is. If anybody would have been under these, they could have killed them. All of us, nobody was there. But we meant to help. We didn't mean to hurt anybody. We wanted to do a good deed. Yeah, but you don't know what you're doing, so you stay out of it. Don't do it. Because you can hurt somebody. So the question is, what do you hurt first? So let's take what really goes on in America, by Goyim, unfortunately. You have someone kill someone drunk driving. Does he drive drunk again or not? Hopefully for Yidden, they're so shocked that they won't even drive again. Because I killed somebody. I'm so frightened to drive. Okay? But a person who's, big deal, this is going. That's the problem. So the Torah wants to put together these two. There's no mechila. The first time you can say, a guy doesn't understand what he's doing. Okay, doesn't understand what he's doing. So Mizrach HaShemesh. That means that or like the Reuven said, is rach l'shemesh hararotzchem. You shine it because everybody's a Rotzeach. Because we all don't know what the results of our actions are. So therefore we're not careful. So therefore, what do you want from us? So the Reuven says, okay, I hear that. But the second time you have no head therefore. That's the point. That was they already, we don't kill you. It's a different story. I just got a lot more bills, so that's where this Torah comes from. I don't really, I don't know the answer. I believe going to the doctor is an einish. The guy has an einish. What's the einish? You went to the doctor. Costs you money. One. Costs you 2 hours, guaranteed. Okay? Travel. Pain. They have to give you injections, whatever they got to give you. That's an einish. And it's brought down in the invention. It's not brought down anywhere else. You hurt somebody, you got to pay. We learn from there that you're allowed to go to the doctor. What do you mean allowed to go to the doctor? Why shouldn't I be allowed to go to the doctor? Got to go to Derech, right? Well, only there's no Derech about doctor. They don't know anything more than you do. But they study something, which you didn't, so you don't know too much. But there's something suffolk. No doctor knows about that. And therefore, what they do is they give you their opinion of what they learned in school, which applies to Goyim, not to Yidden, because we have Hashgacha Pratis if we believe, and therefore we doesn't even have any shaykhs to us. So why are you going to the doctor for? Because the Benshon wants me to spend the money, wants me to suffer, he wants me to waste a couple hours. And that's a einish. That's a einish. But that's only for the doctor. Is an England of, as I'm saying, an England of, I'm trying to teach you b'tochen, could be. Oh, it's very important. I'm probably going to say it again when we get to Sisa, because that's what's negated to. That there are 3 inyonim of Shabbos. The Shabbos has to do with Bris Olam, and what we have to learn out from Bris Olam, negated to us. Shabbos has to do with Yitzis Mitzrayim, that's Reschana. And we learn out what we have to learn for it and what's negated to us. And then the Shabbos, that's the Matonah that was given by Reuven Bnei Yisrael, privately. There's if you learn the on Beya, which covers the Parsha in Kisisa. So the Gemara first says that Moshe, the Gershon told Moshe, go tell Klal Yisrael, I have a Matonah for them, it's called Shabbos. I want to give it to them. Right? Only Beniman Yisrael. Look the Gemara, Kazan Amar Aleph, if you're looking. So you should get, there's some, that's a Matonah, that's Avida L'Gluye, I don't have to tell you. Now it's called Ponov by Moshe Rabbeinu, didn't tell him, because who else could have made it except Rabbeinu Shalom. So here also, so the Gemara says Shabbos is also a Matonah Avida L'Gluye. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I hope so. No, because Shabbos never find out. But I believe a Mechal Shabbos doesn't know different than Shabbos and Sunday. and therefore it's not Avidim Glui. Then the Gemara says, Rav Yechon Hashem Hashem Yechoi, all the mitzvahs of the Torah, the Bensham gave it Pumbia out loud, except Shabbos. He only gave it B'nai Yisrael. Yeah? I thought it's part of Yisrael's Hadibus. Right? So the Gemara then says, if that's the case, why is a guy punished for not keeping Shabbos? A guy is punished for not keeping Shabbos, a guy is punished for keeping Shabbos. Right? So the Gemara says, oh, he told them about Shabbos, but he didn't tell them the Schar Shabbos. So for now, you know Schar Shabbos for any mitzvah, the Schar for any mitzvah except keep it over him. So why would I know about Schar Shabbos? Why is that enough minute? The Gemara says, he told him Schar Shabbos also, he didn't tell him about Neshama Yisrael. What's the Neshama Yisrael? You can drink a lot, eat a lot, and sleep a lot, and you're still not bored, whatever it is. You can enjoy Shabbos. That doesn't sound like our Shabbos to me. Benishil was telling you, I'm giving you a mitzvah to understand why you're different. Why are you holy? Why were you a holy nation? What makes us holy? So Rashi says, because we keep Shabbos. I mean, the pasuk says we keep Shabbos. What the Shailas are talking about over there, if Binyan Beis Hamikdash is Zeicha Shabbos, right? That's what it is. So it says, but it's not. It's have such Shmuel, ki oisi beni v'nechem v'reisech, v'reisechem lodas, ki ani Hashem mikadishchem. You didn't know that. So Rashi says to teach the Goyim. The Gemara is mashma to teach the Yidden. When you make it holy. So Parshas is, the Bensham created the world in 6 days. He does not build anything more than that. But yet he has 100% control over everything he created by what he put into the Bria. Ayipolim Hashem Dovo. So therefore, the Bensham has full control. It's a very hard thing to believe. Why do most people believe in Mother Nature? They don't have to believe in God. Right? Believe in Mother Nature and believe in God don't make no sense. Right? So we believe that. That's what makes us holy. I teach it. What's my raya to you? My raya to you is that you can eat and fresh and eat and think on Shabbos and it doesn't bother you. And you'll hear a bunch of stories by people that spent 5 kiddushim on the way home from shul, come home dead drunk, and they sing over there, and they're still married, and they're still Baruch Hashem, right? How's this happen? When the Malbim says that when do you lose Hashkocha Protis, is if you believe whatever they tell you, then you lost it. I go to the doctor, I got to pay him. I got to go in, I'm taking my onshim. That costs me for this. And he tells me, no, you should know the records show 95% are going to die from this. And you're supposed to say the Ramban says right over there, in Parshas Shoftim, it doesn't apply to me. I'm from a Yid, I believe in Shabbos, and therefore the whole thing doesn't believe. So anyone who doesn't believe that is going to have it. So why do I go to the doctor for? He's going to tell me all the bad news. What do I need bad news for? He can tell me how to get cured. He can tell me how to do things. The Bensham doesn't want to give me necessary bad news. That's basically the union of Shabbos. And it's only to Yidden. Now, if you want to know the numbers to show that it's scientifically correct, okay, what is the margin of error for a pollster? Pollsters said who's going to win the election. 5%. That means if they would have told you that Biden would have won, or whether Trump would have won the second thing by 4% and he lost by 1, it's considered noch a good guess, right? How many from a Yidden are in the world? Shemesh Shabbos. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. I don't think there's more than that, but okay. You want to go 4 million, I'll give you that. How many people in the world? 8.5 billion now, about. That means 4 out of every 8,000 people plus are Shemesh Shabbos. And those are the ones that have Hashgacha Pratis. Nobody else has Hashgacha Pratis. How many times you heard a doctor say, I don't understand. It's a miracle. I'm sure you heard it more than 4%. So remember that. It's a Rebbeinu show in the world. The Indian of Tam. We all learn, 50% mikufay. That's the way you think. That's not what it says in the Torah. The Torah says, if a shur kills another shur, we divide the chai, we divide the mess, and that's it. So the Gemara has to say that that only exists if they're both equal. Right? But if they're not both equal, them wouldn't be there. So why did the Torah write such Meshuggah in the Lashon? Torah could have just said, you have to pay Megufa. What's the difference? Chutz Nesek Megufa. I want to claim it's obviously engaged to the Gemara's too, but there's a din that by shur labor, let's say. So the shur falls into the bar, right? How much of the Baal HaBor has to make sure that the dead shur is put on top of the bar. That costs money. You got to get what do you call it, thing that lifts up things, or whatever, crane. Have to get things that cost money. Yeah. What do you mean everybody's in the business of meat business? If something happened and died by you, right? What would you do with it? Let's say chicken. What would you do with it? Throw it in the garbage. What do you mean throw it in the garbage? The goyim buys treifa chickens, why don't you go sell to a guy? I'm not opening up a store. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing any of this stuff. So what do you mean it's worth $50? To who? To the wholesaler, the retailer, to who? And yet we say, always say, it's worth $50. I go, $50? Well, how's it worth $50? Worth $10? Worth no dollars. It's a list, I think it's a course of before. So he's telling you, you have, before we split the 50, you have to take off all the incidental costs. Obviously, you're not selling meat. You're not opening up a meat store. You're not taking off from your job of selling meat. What you're going to do is maybe call up this guy. He buys anything. So you call him up. I'll give you $5 for it. That's all it's worth. Not $50. He's going to sell for $50. For you, it's worth it's worth only $5. That's all it is. That's what he has to pay. So that's what the Torah is trying to teach you.
You paying the $5 or just you paying the $5?
I'm sorry?
You paying the $5 or you paying the $50?
I don't hear.
So you're paying the $5 or the $50?
Right. Right. But the Maisa is he's not going to lose that much. That's the Emerson. Right now he's not in the business, so he lost $95. $100 cow, it's only worth $5. If I went into the butcher business, it'd be worth $50, right? But I'm not in the butcher business. So I'm not in the butcher business that goes after the hezit of the what he called. But it has to do with the Gemaras too, but just keep your mind on it. Innovation. Or more than that. He takes the age of what's a koitzin. So Rashi says, koidim arosha, koidim aroa mes hatzadik. That's the thing. And we find, if you take the Second World War, which was more negated to us than the other time probably, but these things you find the Gzeli Yisrael died just before the war. They didn't die in the war. We have dozens died in the war. Don't ask me what this goes, I'm not, I don't know no answers for those things. But Lamaise, the ones of Chaim Meza, the Chavetz Chaim, they died in peace. I think you see this from Yeshio when Yeshio sent to Hulda, he sent shluchim to find out if the Churban will come in his time or not. And she said, tell the man you sent you, not for that she's nenash, the man who sent you, that it will not happen in his time, it will happen in his son's time. You feel any better? I don't know. I'm just really seriously. If I went to a Navi, I'm talking to a Navi, not just I'm a thing there, and tells me, you're Baruch Hashem is Duchleben, but your kid's going to suffer who knows what. You're going to be a happy man? So what did he accomplish? So we see a very strange thing. I don't know if a person to realize it has to live through it a little bit or not, that I can answer you. But to see the Churban in front of your eyes is the worst Ein Shaykh. So the ones who lived to come through the war, who rebuilt the world, right? They were the ones that suffered the most because they saw the Churban. But I need you. I need you to rebuild, so you're going to be there. It's not a schar. It's an einish. It's not a schar, but I need you. Yanid, I don't need. You have the Gemara in Shabbos. Basically, they learn it's a change. The only time the bench can change his mind, whoever they are. I'm not just talking about it. The reason why I'm saying that is, in my mind, it doesn't make any sense. If the Reuven Feinstein says it doesn't happen, if I say good, bad doesn't happen, then it means bad doesn't happen. Right in the cup. Now that I changed my mind one time. Came to the Churban by a Schrishin. So he came and told the Reuven Feinstein there's tzaddikim there. He said, put a tough Chaim on their heads. So they'll live. Midas Adin comes and says, they didn't do anything to prevent the Churban. They didn't teach anybody anything. They stood themselves. They kept themselves. So Ben Shlit said, put the tough Misa on the heads. You should die first. And that's where it was. So the shot is, we thought the good. Okay, that was the original din. Once the Midas Adin said they didn't do anything, they're chayiv. But they're not chayiv the same thing as the Rosh is. They don't have to see the Churban. Kaidam or Nasat Tzadik. He gets punished. No, Nasat Tzadik. That's why he died before. And then the ones he left over for to rebuild. The ones that can't rebuild, he didn't leave over. There's no reason to leave them over. They're not going to rebuild. Doesn't make a difference. Now, I forgot to say the end of the list on the Gemara. So the Midas Adin says to him, "L'fanecha you do," but as the Benson said, I can say this, even if they tried, it wouldn't have helped. So it says, "L'fanecha gluya," you knew, but they didn't know, so they still got chayiv for not helping, for trying. Yeah. This will give you a svara to show you. Being imoy that I haven't got a good svara for. Only this I haven't got a good svara for that. Again, Maskim said I don't have a good svara for that. But why is it shoyl chayiv? I borrowed it. I didn't ask you for that's not going to work. Because they call hanoy shaloi. When the guy buys something and it's his, right? He paid good money for it. And there's a minus happens to it. He doesn't have it anymore. Right? Does he have anyone to go collect from? No one to collect from. Right? Because you're the owner. There's nothing to collect from. A shoyel becomes the owner without paying money for it. So therefore, l'chol hapachas will leave him with the onsen that exists. Because every owner has onsen. And he has that much he has. Then, you have a few times that say, Abba Shali, Keneged Abba Shalachem. Bencha, Vitcha, Havzcha, Vamotzcha, and he has Halevi, Hager, Hayosem, V'Almona. Why does Hayosem V'Almona have to do with God? This person tells this to us. Says, Imani Tzale Oisei, you'll be Metam, right? The V'Almona Hayosem. The Yitzhak Kalai, Shomeya Ashma B'Tzakos, I'm going to listen to him. V'chorapi, v'raki eschem, v'chorev, v'yineshechem, v'armones, v'lechem. I'm going to make your wives sons. You saw Armones and your children sons. Who made them? The Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu Shalom made them. He has responsibility to feed them. So therefore they're mine. That's what the point of it. It's a funny way of becoming part of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Ger becomes Rebbeinu Shalom because he shows the Rebbeinu Shalom. A Levi is because he's Gilyon Hashem. But why is he Yosem Almona? But I made you. I made you, so therefore I have to support you. There's a pasuk here on Sinas Chinam. It's a Dika pasuk on the Tesis B'Gzal, in Psochim. What is Sinas Chinam? Okay? I just don't like them. I'm prejudiced. That's not Sinas Chinam. That's a Rosh Gemara. I don't have to talk about him. Sinas Chinam, I don't hate anybody for no reason. Everybody I hate, I got a good reason for hating him. He stole my money. He took my kids off the stole my wife. Whatever it is, there's plenty of reasons people hate people. That's all Sinas Chinam. The only thing that you're allowed to hate is you see somebody engaged in Israel, and then you're allowed to hate him. That's the only one. It's in Shabbos, it's in Rashi Shabbos, it's in Psochim. So this that I hate, he stole my business from me, and I hate him, that's Sinas Chinam. So, it's a pretty tough thing putting on a person. The guy stole my business. He told me to be friendly with him. How can I be friendly with him? He stole my business. So the thing is, we have to remember the Rebbeinu Shalom is really stole your business. Give you a moshel. I don't know if anyone's seen them in many, many years. If you remember the very big fans, 36 inches, right? And they swirl. They always go round and around, right? I came over to you, and I threw a glass of water in your face. And just as I threw it in your face, the fan came and blew all the water back in my face, right? What would you do? We'd all laugh, right? Yeah. What happened if I actually threw it in your face? You'd be insulted, right? I'm not making me, insulted me, embarrassed me, this. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants to embarrass you. Without the Rebbeinu Shalom wanting to embarrass you, you're not getting embarrassed. Rebbeinu Shalom wants to embarrass you, even if there's no one that volunteers to do it. You're going to fall into a puddle of water, and everyone's going to laugh at the same thing. Your face is full of water, and the thing there, look what a stupid guy that guy is. Okay, if I want to do that. They'll say, no. It's his rotzen that bothers me. Not that he hurt me. I believe Benjamin hurts me, hurts me. But his rotzen to hurt me, that he volunteered to be the shliach, that bothers me. Yeah? The second case I gave you, the one where it flew in his face, and he'll ask you, please be marchel me. You'll rather be a marchel right away, right? It's a lie because he hurt you, because he's put it in your face, not because he wanted to put it in your face. So we have to understand ourselves if we really have this so the kasha over here is Sanacha. Why is it Sanacha? It's not my enemy. It's in Sinas Chinam also. So because you always become a little bit more. Okay, now we'll talk about ourselves and Dibus. Okay, the Rebbeinu came to Moshe Rabbeinu and says, I want you to go check Klal Yisrael. And these are the Mishpatim that you're responsible for everything you own. Right? That's what really is there. What's the Mishpatim telling me? All of these Nezikim. Right? So I got to be very careful. So there are 3 Kabbalas al Teiros. One in Parshas Yisrael, Kol Shediba Hashem Nase, and 2 in Parshas Mishpatim, Kol HaDvorim Asher Diba Hashem Nase, and Nase V'Nishma. So Shiva asked, there's something to think into it. If the mitzvah is to believe, how do you type up we will do it, and then we will learn it, right? I'm not even interested in learning it afterwards. Whatever you tell me to do, I do. What's the bigger commitment? Yiddiv Hashem Nasa is a bigger commitment. So the emes of Kabbalah Sanseir is called Yiddiv Hashem Nasa. That's in Parshas Yisroi, and we don't have to go right through that. But once the Rebbeinu put the Mishpatim in front of them, they said, I want you to understand what the Torah is, and what it is, what we demand from you, what this and this and these ideas. So they answered, Kol HaDvarim Asher Diba Hashem Nasa. All the words God said, that means we're giving a haskamer to the Torah. That's not the Torah. That's not God's Torah. That's your Torah. You have people that say that. Whatever I understand, I do. Whatever I don't understand, I don't do. That's no yichus. That's your Torah. Your Torah is no yichus to do. You have to do God's Torah. So they said that's not even a Kabbalah. So therefore, let's bring korbanos after that. And they brought the korbanos. They got to Hechamad where you can understand. We got to take our negiyas out of here. They're not that I understand it. Not that I understand. Not gave to me if I understand it. So it's called Shediva Hashem Nasa B'Nishma. So the Rosh used to learn Nasa we will do B'Nishma like our Rebbeim tell us how to do. Well, I'm not an Ageya B'Dava anymore. I'm not deciding how to do it. I'm letting my Rebbe tell me what to do. And that's the thing that I'm doing. There's a Kabbalah in Torah. There's a way of doing things. It's not just the chat I'm doing it. And that is the emes in the so there was three, so it went up 3 madregas in the thing. And that was the, what else did they have over there? I didn't even look at the, maybe it's up 5 minutes. Yeah, just interesting points. Chur must have been about 25 years old, about this time. Maybe had the second already. You know, he had kids already. He was a grandfather already. So he's about 25 years old anyway. How old was Kalev when he married Miriam? Or let's say, how old was Miriam when she married Kalev? She's 6 years older than Moshe, right? So when she went into the Midbar, she was 86 years old, right? What is Yeshua? What does Kalev say to Yeshua? I was 37 when I was sent by the Meraglim. So how many years older is she than him? And he gets killed by the eagle, right? Who built the Mishkan? His great-grandson, Betzalel. Ben Uri Ben Hur, and then Kalev. That's the thing that built the Mishkan. Why does he build the Mishkan? Because it has to be someone that was Moshe Nefesh for Seirah to build the Mishkan, for Munah to build the Mishkan. But he's 13 years old only. So he's 13, he's 37, right? So how many years? They got birth to 8 years. Every 8 years they gave birth. They were kids yet. Miriam, she says, it's interesting. First, no one would marry her because she was sickly. Whatever sickly means, I don't know what sickly means. I mean, her be married to Miriam, her should be a big slut or something. I don't know what it is. Or maybe it's too scary. You don't want to be married to Neviah. I said nobody wants to marry her except this 8-year-old little punk. You know, I don't even know how the chuppah looked. Whatever it is, he didn't look like 20. He looked like 8. Of course, after Avram Avinu already, we had age already. So you know what an 8-year-old kid looked like, right? So it's an 8-year-old kid. And he's the second biggest person in Klal Yisrael. That's why Chur, not Kolev. His son, Aaron v'Chur imochem. Kol adova koshi, anyone has any problem, goes down to Chur. How old is Chur? 25. Aaron is 83 already. Okay, so good. I got to go, he knows the Torah, he's a Navi, he was a thing there. But why did he go to Chur? So Mashma Chur was that big.
The Gemara says that Koli married Miriam because he wanted to have children like Moshe and Aaron. That was the reason why he married Miriam.
Yeah.
The Gemara says.
Okay. So obviously he was also, I mean, Islam, to understand that, I mean, I was just belittling him like, but there's only 3 people in the Torah are called Eved. In the Torah I'm talking about. Tanakh you have many. But in the Torah is only 3. Avram, Moshe, and Kolev are called after you. The young punk, what are you talking about? How is he speaking? Who knows? Half of Divrei Hayomim is about him. And then the thing over there, go ahead and Divrei Hayomim, of his kids. You know, he had a lot of wives, 3 wives at least, so a lot of kids. But whatever it is there, but it said after he married her, everybody wanted to marry her. She became so beautiful. That's the thing, which that you find in a few places like that, you know, when somebody likes somebody, I guess that's the Teva of them also. Why do I want that? Because you have it. I don't need it. I'm not going to use it. Right? So what do I want it for? Because you have it. That's all. That's the only reason I want it. Or I want to show you I can afford it and you can't. I want you to be jealous of me. I said, who needs these types of jealousies? Who needs jealousy? Everybody. No, only me, not you. So what could have a Shabbos? Anyway, a good Shabbos, everybody.